Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the 306th edition of Cinema Effect, the podcast where we review and talk about a different movie every single Monday. And this week, that movie is Zero Dark 30, which opened in the US on January 11th, 2013. It was directed by Kathryn Bigelow. It's a political thriller / drama, and the synopsis says, a chronicle of the decade-long hunt for al-Qaeda terrorist leader Osama bin Laden after the September 2001 attacks and his death at the hands of the Navy SEALs Team 6 in May 2011. Fucking spoilers, Jesus Christ. That's the whole movie. That's the whole thing right there. I just said it. Wow. Liam, Zero Dark 30, I know you hate this movie, but what do you think this time? Did it change your mind?
Well, I never hated this movie.
I
had a 6. I just didn't want to rewatch a 2-hour 45-minute film that I was mild on,
Yeah.
But actually,
is it 2 hours 45? Is it even?
It's
close to
2:35. It's
Is it?
2:35.
Oh, I thought it was 2 hours flat.
No, it's definitely not.
Oh, okay.
no, but I actually really liked it this time. Yeah, I don't know. I liked just kind of the constant changing of the guard, and I don't know, like the subtle shifts in technology, and I don't know how the operation changes. I love the whole section in wherever they are when they're kind of tracking Abu Ahmed.
Yeah, it's good.
Just like I don't know, like it's just they're tracking this guy who's calling his mom, and they're like in the field, for like an hour, trying to do this like on the off chance that this is connected to Usama. But I don't know, it's great. I don't know, it's good stuff.
Wow. We've got a mind change, ladies and gentlemen. This is like monumental stuff for the lore of the podcast.
Yeah.
When was the last time you saw it?
Oh, maybe like a decade ago. I don't know.
Oh, wow. Okay. I thought for some reason, I thought like this came from like a more recent, like in the last few years watch or something.
No. I just think I mean, it's kind of like between like Sicario, this, and even like Full Metal Jacket. Like sometimes I just feel like I'm less interested, or I have a slight disinclination towards like military kind of stuff. I feel like it must be that, and the fact that it's like long. So it just kind of like was cemented in my mind as something to, not rewatch. But here we are.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad you dug it because I really dug it too. Like, it's funny you said that about how you sometimes lean away from military stuff. I fucking love military stuff. This is Zach shit. This whole thing is Zach shit, to be honest. Like, give me military thriller, give me politics, give me great actors in dialogue scenes. I mean, I am the audience. And this film delivers that. I was engaged the entire time. You've got Chastain proving why she's one of my favorite actresses. And yeah, it exceeded my... I've seen it about a decade ago as well, and it exceeded my remembrance of it for sure. Jaden, what about you?
I still really enjoy it. I sung Bigelow's praises on Hurt Locker, and I've always been very vocal about liking her films, and because they're very blokey styled.
Yes.
And I think she really does it again. Like it's kind of incredible how I don't know how proficient she is at just directing tension. Like I think she is like the master of it in the modern age. Like I don't really think anyone comes close to as consistent, like to be so consistently doing it the same way. The only thing that I can think of that kind of rivals the way that I feel like watching her films is I can't remember his name now, but the guy that did Line of Duty and Bodyguard, especially in Bodyguard, like they had kind of capture a similar feeling. But I don't know. I think her ability to do that, it kind of always grabs me, and I really like the story. I have my issues with the ethics of it all, Massive Attack taught me well. No.
Empathy.
Yeah. No, but it made me want to go back and start reading The Looming Tower again, which is because a bit of lore drop I studied a bit of Middle Eastern history in uni, so this was a good revisitation of some of that. So yeah, it's all exciting stuff.
Definitely. I want to talk about the ethics of it for sure.
Do you
is
actually
there?
though?
I mean,
You're the one that always
yeah, of
wants to
course
be
I
like,
do.
oh, I know, we don't need to talk about that.
No. I want to talk about the ethics of it. Definitely. Do you want to dive right into the ethics of it to really prove my point to prove to you that I do want to talk about it?
Up to you.
I swear. I'll quickly ask. I mean, I completely agree with you with Bigelow and the way she directs tension. But is there like when you say that, is it like particular? I mean, we're obviously going to talk about the raids. Oh no, terrible timing. I guess I'll just ask this question to Liam, even though Jaden brought it up. Well, we'll talk about the raid sequence at the end. That'll get its whole thing. But outside of that, like, is her strength with tension? Is it like in particular scenes that stand out to you, or is it like? Because for me, I feel like it's almost just sort of permeates the whole thing. It's sort of like the whole journey is tense, as opposed to like, or that there's that that one attack was really tense or whatever. You know what I mean?
I do agree with both of what you're saying. I mean, I think the tension is kind of insane in the last like half an hour on the actual raid, but it is pretty. Yeah. I mean, there's just a constant, sense of dread and threat throughout the whole film. Because like the attacks that do happen, I couldn't really remember. Like I thought when the car was coming that it would blow up, but I couldn't really remember how it happened. And then I completely forgot about kind of the restaurant attack. So like the way the attacks are kind of interspersed randomly, kind of adds a lot to it. Yeah, it's just it is, the tension is constantly there.
Yeah.
I'll pass it over to Jaden though, who the question was intended for.
Dude. When it comes
You
to
subbed in
London,
well.
I always feel sick. Like I don't know why that one in particular. But London really gets me.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Well, is that because it's like a Western country?
Yeah, I actually care about London. Yeah.
Well,
don't give a shit about the US.
That's what I was. That's what I was implying. But
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about Saudi or whatever.
Oh, I just meant. I don't know. Like, do we see any other Western countries get attacked? I don't know. I mean, obviously, like
Outside of
9/11 is like looming over the entire thing, but I don't give a shit about 9/11.
Yeah.
There was like an attack in New York.
Oh yeah, the car bomb. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't give a fuck. Yeah.
But they didn't. They stopped that, right? That was like thwarted.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That was a threat. That was the cause of their whole big yell up match between Chastain and Chandler, which was great. I just like seeing them yell at each other about protecting the homeland. Got to protect the homeland. We got to protect the homeland by killing Bin Laden, bro, because Bin Laden is the threat against the homeland. They just shouted about the homeland for like a minute, and I'm like, this is great.
It finally put into I was finally like, oh, so Homeland is about like this the TV show. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. I've always wondered.
Yeah, it is. It's exactly about that. It's funny, like in terms of the attacks, like when we cut to the Marriott Hotel, and like Chastain walks in with the other actress. What's her name? Jennifer Eel. Like at first, the second this scene starts, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a bomb. Because like, why else are we going to this random hotel here? But then like the scene went on long enough to where like I kind of then had unconvinced myself, because then like the scene was sort of like a 2-minute long talk between them, where then it kind of just threw me off of like, oh no, I was wrong. This scene's about, confronting Maya's obsession and about her work-life balance and all this sort of stuff. And like, it kind of made me realize, oh no, I think the scene's just about that. That's all it is. Oh no, she's got no friends, that kind of side of the thing. But then the bomb does go off, and I'm like, oh, No, never mind. I was right about that. The dude driving in on the car, like the trap that was the whole fake doctor informant thing. Like I could see that coming a mile away. That was a bomb about to go off. But yeah, literally, yeah, you could see the
You
car
can
a
see the
mile
car
away.
coming along.
Yeah, yeah, very true. But like that didn't change the dread of it at all. It was like, and then Jennifer Hill was so excited about it. She's like, "Oh my god, I made him a cake and all this sort of shit." And I'm like, man, that sucked. But no, that was a great scene. That when that went off, it was like, oh, that was good tension right there. Okay, that was my prologue. Jane, we can talk about the ethics. We can do it. Well, let's. I'll start by just asking about. I feel like this is a decent gateway and a topic I want to talk about anyway, which is the depiction of the torture scenes. And first of all, I just want to like, how do you react to them, Jane? Do you feel like they go far enough? Are they effective in the film, just as torture scenes, as things that are meant to make you feel things?
I mean, like, yes and no. I mean, like, I think because I've seen so much worse stuff. I mean, like the thing that gets me like squeamish is like fucking teeth pulling and nail pulling. Like I can't watch that shit. It's like
Okay.
like that's like my absolute limit. And like in this, I'm like a bit of waterboarding. I mean, it's not too bad. No, I think. I mean, they try. I think they try to show the brutality of it through Chastain's reactions initially, but then like ultimately, I think it does try to justify them like too much. And I mean, I kind of get like I think it's kind of just a trapping of the script because like there really is no other way that the story would have happened without the information from the detainees. So like I don't think he can show the torture as like a. I mean, yeah, as much as you try, you're never really going to show it in a negative light. Just with what the movie is.
Right. Yeah. Inherent with what the story is, because the torture is a necessary vehicle for the information that propels the narrative.
Yeah. So like even like I don't know. I mean, like they even watered it down. I was reading that they initially had dogs in the scene, and then I mean, like maybe had they not watered it down so much, I mean, maybe you could have got it across a bit better. That you know that you're against the use of torture. But yeah.
Okay. What do you think, Fitzy? Did they take it far enough?
Well, I don't really know. I don't know what they're trying to kind of say or depict with it, or if it's just there because of like what you said, because it was like the necessary vehicle or whatever. Because like to some extent, this movie is also like a critique of the whole thing, but I don't know like how much it is. I think they probably did water it down a little bit, but it's hard to say.
I just think that with the way that the Obama speech is inserted, and then Jason Clarke's comment afterwards about like don't be the last one holding the dog collar, like it's just it's presented as the end of torture being an obstacle rather than like a kind of it's presented as too much of an obstacle and you're meant to kind of it positions you against that decision. Which I mean, like we don't live in fairyland. We all know that this shit continued. It's just that it got more discreet. So it's like a.
Well, yeah, that's true too. Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know if the film is. I think it's trying to sort of strike a balance. Whether or not, I think it's one of those situations where it's just going to depend on the viewer of like, do you want it to be critical? Like, do you want to walk in and sort of have it validate a certain perspective, or can you sort of just take it for what it is, which is like I think it could have gone harder for sure, and could have been more, violent and more sort of appalling and all that sort of. It could have leaned harder in that direction, made me really feel critical towards it. But at the same time, like I feel like there was enough there to where, like, it sort of just presented it to me fair. I think fair, like, I'm sure the actual situations are worse, but I didn't feel like it pulled any punches either. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like it was soft.
Yeah.
It was enough to where it was like, I think it was kind of the perfect balance of like, I can see this for what it is. I can see this as inhumane treatment. But I can also see, like, to your point, it's like, you know, it is needed for these characters, like, for the perspective we're rooted in, being Myers and you know, the mission that she's on. Like, these are important steps to get to the next thing and important steps to complete, you know, fucking objective of the movie. You know what I mean? So, and I feel like the audience can feel how they want about that. Like, I don't know, in terms of what you said about positioning us to feel like torture going away is a bad thing. Like, yes, because I mean, it is for her. It is for her and her, you know, her entire work and everything she's putting in. So in that sense, yes. But that's only a result of her being our protagonist. You know what I mean? It's sort of like a necessary.
I think the movie also, even if it's unintentionally so, it keeps on defending the viewpoint by the way it's cut together, in showing the consequences of not getting information. You know, when there is an attack or when there is like an escalation or whatever, or there's like some kind of repercussion, like it's trying to justify the fact that like you need these to prevent that, and I don't know, it just falls into that trapping. And even if like, no, I just don't, I just think that no matter how much that you like, they try and argue that no, it wasn't the intent, it I think if it just falls into that, I think at the base level it does.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's very hard to argue against. I agree.
In showing such a direct, cause and effect of like what not revealing does. I mean, like, I think it does.
Yeah, that's right. It's like, it's kind of like that whole philosophy that Maya has, where it's like, what does she say exactly when she's like, how do you weigh up the consequence of not taking action? You know, it's like, she's kind of like, we got these people, it's sort of justified in her mind. It sort of is justified in that way, where it's like anything we can extract from them to help the greater cause, as it were, or whatever, of stopping these plans and attacks. But yeah, whether the means justify the ends, they obviously, I guess the film in the end is sort of, to your point, it is sort of saying they do, but that's a bigger question. Of course, I don't know if they probably don't. the whole idea of the CIA black site, like, conceptually, and obviously they exist. Like, that's terrible. The whole notion of them, of just like, oh yeah, we can just have these places where international law and no laws apply, and we can just hold people here because we want to. It's like, whoa, okay. And that's something that, I don't know, like, another aspect of that is like, could the film have been more critical of that? I mean, probably, but it also probably would have just been another thing that the CIA read and then just cut out of the script,
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. When you have a script that has to be approved by the CIA, you never. It's the same thing as we were talking about with Marvel last week. Like when it's getting approved by the upper government and like kind of agencies, you're never going to be able to fully critique, the military industrial complex or whatever else, like the American imperialism in other countries, to a nuanced degree. It's always going to be surface level, and you're going to be able to talk your way out of it from either side. Like it's just a byproduct of being filtered like that.
I'm not sure if this film, I'd be lying if I said I knew for sure, but I'm not sure if this film is the same as the whole Disney thing where, like, it has to be approved per se, as much as it is like they obviously read it and made changes, and it's more of like a sort of a back and forth, like, you know, yeah, we want this out or whatever. Because like, if it had to be approved, like, you know, it's still not the most flattering thing in the world, is it?
No, but this like I saw the CIA read it and they removed 2 instances. But
Yeah,
then also like the fact like whenever something like this gets made, you need military support.
yeah.
So like it has to get approved.
To an extent, like you need it enough to where it's like, you know, again, it's like a negotiation enough to where it's like, we'll help you where you need it or whatever. But it's like they're not fucking handing out information either. They're not fucking like, it's not a co-production. You know what I mean? It's like it's kind of like, yeah, all right. If you cut this out and this out, then well, that'll get us by. Whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I think the current Marvel thing is not quite exactly the same thing. I don't think it's like,
Sure. Yeah.
we can just like tell you not to make this shit. You know. But yeah, no. I mean, obviously, the military's involvement in these movies is endlessly fascinating and problematic in many ways. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I still think that, like, again, in terms of like these scenes still not being flattering, like I still think they're effective for what they are. You know, take them for what they are. They have been worse. Could they have done more? Yes. But I don't know. Like, I think the waterboarding is pretty intense, and I think like that. I really like that scene. It's funny. That's a great sentence. I really like the scene where Jason Clarke puts the dude in the box, and he's like, you know, he's asking for the day, and then he keeps fucking saying every day.
Mm.
I think the thing that makes a huge aspect of that makes the torture quite compelling is the performances from everyone in the room. To be honest, like, I freaking love Jason Clarke in those scenes. I think he's great. The way he's like he's totally broing it up
Mm.
is like a great little character detail that's just like kind of makes things more uncomfortable to where it's like it makes the whole thing feel less polished and like sort of informal in
I
a
was trying to think if that's like an Australian just trying to be like trying to add like an American flair.
oh, do you really? Maybe I don't think
Nah,
so.
yeah, no, I think it's
I read it as because then obviously there's the part of the film too where he's more not corporate at all. It's not corporate, but you know what I mean. Like he's more suit oriented. You know, upper in the CIA back in the homeland. And he's more, you know, buttoned up in those sort of scenes. But then the second he goes back to Kuwait later, he gets it's like beard mode and non-beard mode in this movie for him. But when he gets back into beard mode, it's also bro mode. He starts going, you know, I'm your friend, bro. You know, I'll make life easier for you, bro. Just give me the info I want. I'll give you food. So no, I really like that. It made it feel it made me feel uncomfortable just how comfortable he was and informal he was just carrying out these orders. It made the whole thing feel what it is, being sort of like unsanctioned, turn a blind eye. There's no great higher level representation of CIA operative here, you know, carrying this out. It makes the whole thing feel very much like swept under the rug. And you just get that from his whole vibe. He's like wearing a hoodie or whatever, you know what I mean? Like,
is he?
I think so. He's wearing he's not wearing anything fancy, that's for sure.
I think he's wearing a t-shirt. Like it's like a kind of.
Oh, it's a t-shirt. You know, he's wearing a t-shirt, and definitely one of them. Yeah, you're right. But you know what I mean? It's not like this isn't. It's not portrayed as like this is the CIA people in the suits doing this in a very organized manner. You know what I mean? Like, I like that. That adds some of the uncomfortability for me. But yeah, I don't know. Did you guys have any thoughts on the performances, Jason Clarke, anything like that in the torture scenes? I also thought the dude who was getting tortured was really good in the scenes, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Chris Pratt stood out at the end. I don't know, like stood out in like a bad way because you just felt like Chris Pratt. Yeah. I just think that's just a effect of him being just like so overstretched in everything these days that I just feel like it's easy to see through him. Whereas like back in those days, I feel like his performance would have blended in a bit more. I don't know. Like I like Chastain. I don't know if I really sing anyone's praises specifically for like being excellent. But I think it was like generally like all around very solid. I
Okay.
got very excited when Jeremy Strong and Mark Strong shared a scene.
That is exciting.
And
The two brothers reuniting.
and I mean, I guess I did enjoy Gandolfini in his like small little burst. He is a pleasure to watch.
He is a pleasure to watch, but he also kind of, I don't know, his whole thing. That was kind of a bit of a dip in the movie for me, where like, I mean, this is a whole other topic that I was going to get into, is just how much of an underdog story it is, which is kind of a funny thing, but like it really is, like in terms of Maya and her being the protagonist, and how the whole thing's about how, you know, the odds are stacked against her and trying to find Osama, and you know, she's portrayed as like the last person really still gunning for him. You know what I mean? And it's like, and everything then sort of with the way that sort of culminates is sort of just like she's the last real good guy or whatever, and then like Gandolfini like is kind of just comes in and like she's super confident because, you know, that's her whole character. She's like super obsessed about this stuff. Everyone else in the room is like 60%. She comes in and it's 100, and then he just kind of looks at her and goes, "Oh yeah, okay, I'd buy that." You know, it's just like I don't know. It wasn't like the most super compelling. Like, I think the scenes are great because the actors are great, but I don't know. Like, just dramatically, it sort of. It was just. I felt it was a bit odd of a payoff in terms of like, how accurate is this really? That like I'm meant to buy that this character is like the sole reason that this happened because she kept, you know, she was the lone trooper, and then there was that one scene where, what did she say? She said like I was. I think I've got it here somewhere. But she basically said, like, you know, I think God left me alive so I could finish the job, or whatever it was.
I don't remember.
I was like, wow, this is a bit of a
Yeah.
what's the term for that? It's like a I don't know,
like a savior complex.
a savior, yeah, something like that, a savior complex or whatever. Like definitely some sort of self-inflation going on. So yeah, I don't know. That was kind of a bit of a criticism I had towards it, and especially like considering the whole movie is also like zooming out. It's you know, the US, the powers of the US military and government versus a bunch of terrorists, you know, and it's like they're the underdog. The US is the underdog.
Yeah, the very like it was very much like girl bossing it to, you know, to into your first war crimes, and you know,
Right.
And, like I saw that she was like meant to be like a composite of like a bunch of like real female like kind of agents. So
Yeah.
I mean, like maybe like in real life that scene might have played differently, not because like it might not have been just one person, you know,
Yeah.
going full 100%, or even like, you know, like she probably wasn't like the one only gunning. It would have been like a few, but like for
Yeah.
movie's sake, yeah, it plays better as a lone wolf type thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, and I do like, I don't know, like I like when she goes and like writes on Mark Strong's window, and you know, like I like, obviously it is very movie like you said, to sort of have, you know, a smaller group of people like pushing back and like trying to overcome the changing tide of the Obama administration, like changing the way they do things and all that kind of stuff. Like I like that, but I think just in that sort of second act of the movie, I would have liked it if it felt a bit more like, I don't know, like keep Jeremy Strong in it more, and like I don't know, add like there's a couple of other characters, but like I want them to be more prominent. I feel a bit more like a team as opposed to like it did sort of feel like a bit odd how much it was like, felt like it was Maya like was the only one going after Osama bin Laden in the whole US government. It just felt a bit odd.
But it's like she's alone at the end. You know, it's like she lost all the connections. You know, that's like one of the critical angles you could take.
That's true. That's true. She did. Yeah. I don't know. Did that ending hit? for you guys?
Mm,
Was
I
it
think
worth my
that
criticism?
that last shot's probably like the worst in the movie.
Mm.
Um, I get the intent of wanting to show like the stress of like the situation, like the relief that came afterwards, and
Yeah.
like I get like that you're trying to show like the mental wear that the whole thing has been. Um, but it's very cheap and ineffective. Like it's just,
Mm.
I think it's a betrayal of the character that you establish, and I just also think that it's a bit of a cop out. Um, yeah, don't like the last bit.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it wasn't worth focusing on it as such a, because yeah, obviously you're meant to feel like, this is all she's done her whole life out of high school, the overwhelming emotion of having completed that and the uncertainty of what's next and all that. But like, maybe the film shouldn't have leaned so hard into that being the narrative.
I think having it in the, I think having it in a capacity is fine, but like I don't think going like the film. I like as obvious of a film as it is. I don't think the film was ever as obvious as it is in that last bit where she's
Right.
so quite literally alone, like Liam pointed out, and then that she's finally allowed to cry. Like it's just, I don't know, feels more James Cameron than Bigelow.
Sure.
Mm.
Is that? Do you agree, Fitzy? You felt it was?
Yeah, no, yeah, it's a very, very weak ending for sure. Yeah, it's very obvious and cheap. I agree.
Yeah. What about how do you feel about Gandolfini's scenes and what he contributed here? He's in 4 scenes, I think. Not much.
Mm.
It was pretty good. I did like back to what you're saying. I do think Jason Clarke is kind of the highlight of the film in terms of all the random kind of actors that we get that come and go.
Yeah, I agree.
His like casual demeanor outside of and even inside the torture scenes is pretty just interesting to watch. Yeah, Gandolfini's good. Yeah, the context of the scenes weren't like amazing as you said, but it was a good addition, I guess. I don't know.
I think
Yeah,
just on Clark quickly is also that the other instance of the film being really cheap and trying to justify itself is that play for empathy they go with when they kill his monkeys and he's acting all sad before he leaves. Like he introduced the monkeys in the scene before, and then all of a sudden they're dead and he has to leave because it's too much, and he needs to go play the game in Washington and detach himself a bit. Like it was just another example. Like it was just another kind of cheap grab for getting you back on side for the Yanks.
yeah. I don't know. I didn't read into that too much as feeling like that big of a deal. Like I think it was just a small, as you said, they literally did just introduce the monkeys like
Yeah, then
right
if
before.
what was the
It
point
was.
of introducing them then?
It felt like. Oh no. Like I think the intent is what you're saying. I just don't think it was like some big elaborate like elaborate's not the right word, but I didn't think it was like a ploy to try and gain sympathy for him that much. I just thought it was a little detail they threw in to sort of add a bit of reasoning as to put it as to why he's burnt out at this point,
Mm,
and just sort of
Mm.
it's just a little additive, and it's also the fact that a lot of time has passed. Obviously, we're not even that far into the film at that point, but you know, just they need to, I think, demonstrate, give some reasoning as to why he might be disenfranchised with what he's doing. Just on a character level, and not even on a critique level or anything.
sure.
But
Yeah.
I mean, one thing that this film did for me is I gained an appreciation for how secret and well planned Al Qaeda seems to be operationally. Because like I never really appreciated that, but it really did take them a decade to get Bin Laden, seemingly because like not by accident, but seemingly because he was really good at not avoiding capture and no one knowing where he was. Like it's a pretty good effort, to be honest.
He was actually like I feel like with pop culture and like like internet culture these days, like he's become such a kind of mystified joke figure that
Mm.
like I mean, especially like our generation. I mean, we're growing up with it, but like we never really like obviously paid attention to it that much because we were fucking 9. Um, but like he was actually like he was incredibly smart. Like he was a contractor and a millionaire before he turned to like terrorism. Like he had the funds and the connections. Like he properly was like able to establish a network via like his ability to be like a businessman prior to doing it. Um, and like obviously when you have all that background, you can carry it into your new profession, and just
Yeah.
reapply it.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, I definitely hadn't appreciated that, and that's what I got from this movie. It was just
Yeah.
like, damn, like they couldn't. The fact that it took so long just to find the dude who was and like they didn't even know if this guy existed. Who was just the dude who was the courier,
Yeah.
Mm.
you know? And that's all. That's all by design on their part. It's incredibly well planned. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the depiction of tradecraft on both sides in this film is quite good.
Tradecraft. There's a chapter called
Yes,
Tradecraft,
that's why I
Jaden, in the
used the word.
movie.
Yeah.
Wow, good word.
Mm.
Yeah, that's true. Like in the end, I don't know. Did you like the perspective the film took in terms of like focusing on these characters, on the intelligence, on the geopolitics side of it? Because I enjoyed like the sort of getting into the back and forth with the other countries, the cooperation with the other countries, and like the whole I don't know game of like countries giving each other information and maybe lying to each other. And I thought that was all really
Yeah.
good, and I enjoyed that a lot. But it's just funny because like I read that like this movie was originally going to be like this is before the main trivia is that like this film was already written before they killed Bin Laden, and so it was meant to be about a lot of different like it was meant to be about how they didn't find him basically.
Yeah.
But then even before that, it was also going to be about the battle of, or I guess maybe I don't know, maybe this was incorporated into that movie, but like the Battle of Tora Bora.
Mm.
Instead, which I imagine would have been a more military thing than on the ground. I don't
Well,
know, but
I think Tora Bora plays into the failed attempts to catch him. So I think you
yeah,
probably would have got a similar thing, but it would have been inverted in terms of action into intelligence, maybe instead of
right. Like you start with that.
yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. That makes sense. Yeah.
Mm. I can't
Um,
believe that the turnaround between killing Bin Laden and then putting this movie out
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like
yeah.
because
That's an
like
excellent point.
to completely rewrite the script like after that incident and then to get it out the next year like jeez.
Absolutely. Yeah. It must have been really far along
In
script
pre
wise already, and then like I read that like the script was obviously then they killed Bin Laden, the script was rewritten, and then they must have just fucking gone right into pre-production, just gone right
yeah.
into it.
That's why I imagine a lot of the intelligence stuff could have stayed the same, and it was just about removing Tora Bora and then
Yeah,
placing it. Yeah, because like
yeah,
everywhere I see it says like major script changes, but like I can't imagine it being that major if the film was already about the the failing attempt to chase him. Because like
sure,
that's what you've kind of ended up with until you get to the end. Um,
yeah.
but yeah,
I wonder what the original ending would have been then, like the through line narrative wise, like because it can't just be like I don't know. The film couldn't have just like ended on. I don't know what's like the last major beat before they realize the compound's there and they start talking about the compound. Like I don't know, like the
Mm.
failed attack on New York or some shit. Like that's the ending.
yeah.
Like that doesn't make any sense. There must have been some sort of other, uh, character through line or something that they were going for.
Mm. Just a fade to black after an hour and 40 minutes, being like, to this day, Bin Laden's not been caught.
Yeah. Exactly. Do the real world text thing.
Yeah.
Chastain just fucking cries. It's the same shit, but it's like a whole different context. She just cries because she
Yeah.
fails.
Mm.
Yeah.
Maybe we'd like that more.
Mm.
But yeah, in terms of, I mean, Fitzy already brought up the scene when the Abu Ahmed finding this guy. I thought the whole bit of like the dudes, driving around.
Mm.
They're in Pakistan at that point, right? I think.
Most of the movies is Pakistan.
Yeah. So they even like the embassy they're working from is in Pakistan,
Yeah,
right?
I'm
Yeah.
pretty
Okay.
sure.
Like anyway, this whole bit with them like driving around trying to find Abu Ahmed with the little like scanner or whatever radar. I really enjoyed that scene. I thought it was great.
Mm.
It was just being in the van with them, and it was like I thought at first when was it Edgar Ramirez, that guy?
Yeah.
Wait, was he the one that said? I think because he was driving. I think he was the one that realized, oh, he's driving in a circle.
Mm.
Um, I thought when he said that, oh, it's like a tactic. Like this guy knows he's being chased and he's trying to evade them.
Mm.
But I don't think but he didn't. It was just like he actually just was driving in a circle,
Yeah.
like oblivious. So there you
Because
go.
I think it was probably employing the same thing of like, because like he was never making the same call from the same place and all that, but he didn't realize it probably like localized him so much that that part no longer worked.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was his standard procedure tactic without understanding that he was
Yeah.
actually he was actually being onto. Like,
Yeah.
that makes sense. You know, I really like that scene. The other actor who, the other dude who's on the op as well, like the Middle Eastern dude, but who's CIA.
Mm.
I've seen him before, but
Yeah. Well,
good
his
place.
character was Hakeem, I think, wasn't it?
Yes. I liked him.
Yeah, he was good. I like what they do, character wise. Like I think it's also kind of cheap, but I also kind of like it in that it's. I mean, like it's mainly at the end when he's walking through the house and he's having a look around and he's realizing. I because like his character is kind of forced to have more of a connection with the kids in the. His name's Ferez. He's in Rogue One apparently.
Oh, he is too. Yeah.
Um, I don't know how to say it because like I'm not trying to say that he's empathizing with him, but like they use him as a like I don't know, they use him as a vehicle somehow, and it's I like what the vehicle is.
Yeah. He's kind of like, I don't know, some awareness. I feel like your my ineloquence is, you just infected me with on this
Yeah.
topic. But no, there is an empathetic slant to him where it's like, I don't know, maybe is it got something to do with the fact that he is like Middle Eastern and he's like the Arabic speaking dude on the team, and he's kind of in that, so he kind of occupies that middle ground that they exploit. Like obviously, like tactics wise, it's an exploit, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's like he sort of is that bridge, though, especially with the kids at the end. It is sort of meant to be like a calming presence,
Yeah. And the thing is, I think it does exist as a middle ground because like, I mean, the Al Qaeda didn't start in Pakistan; it got chased into Pakistan out of Afghanistan. So I mean, like, if he is meant to represent, I mean, he speaks Urdu. Maybe he is from Pakistan. Maybe he's like, I don't know where his character exactly is from, but like, if he is meant to represent the Pakistani perspective, like he can play the middle ground a bit better.
Yeah.
As like seeing that his country has become a war ground for two foreign kind of bodies.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. Everything with the I thought, I mean, now we're talking about it, I thought everything with the compound was awesome. Like huge highlight. Even like I love the stuff, even because obviously I knew this sequence was coming, but even before we got to it, I really enjoyed like just all the pre-planning of it, and like just when they realize that the compound exists after they finally tracked Abu Ahmed there, and then it was like, okay, now we got to deal with this compound, and like I just couldn't believe like the amount of shit that they tried, and they just, it really was like an impenetrable thing. Like they even got a doctor in there and it didn't work, and
that was something that was watered down because they actually
Yeah.
did start a polio vaccine initiative, but it was with a fake vaccine, so that when there was an outbreak, all the kids that thought they were actually vaccinated weren't. So like the US actually did like inadvertently kill like a shit ton of kids, because like they gave them like a fake vaccine to try and get to Osama.
Oh, so that happened, like that would have happened like at some point later, like there actually was an outbreak.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I shouldn't laugh, but I am. It's terrible. But yeah, I don't know. I just, again, talking about Bin Laden's planning and staying hidden and all that, like, they really had no way into there. They couldn't fucking see shit. They had no idea. It was like it was a complete hunch, really. And I know Maya's 100% confident, as she says. But like, I was with the other dudes. I'm like, how can you 100% be confident? Like,
yeah. The thing is, over the course of those 100 days, I mean, like you can deduct more and more factors, but you can never get to that level of certainty to like launch a full attack. Like that's crazy.
no, yeah, absolutely. It was the whole idea of it was crazy, and just like seeing them gather as much information as they could, but you know, they couldn't put cameras up, they couldn't do this, they couldn't do that. Like their whole fucking knowledge of the whole place was reliant on these, like, would that have been like satellite footage or something? Like, what would that have even been that they were
I think it was
looking
from wasn't it just from a drone? Like
Can a drone? Can a drone be that high up and just not be seen? Like, and be that?
Yeah,
I guess
that's what those high altitude ones are, like the UAVs
Okay.
and shit like that. Like they can, I think they travel so far up that like their image becomes like still for a bit because like it's like because of the camera and the zoom.
Yes.
Like even as it's traveling, like it keeps like a still image.
Yes. Yeah, and that's all they had. And then you had Mark Strong in there trying to convince Stannis Baratheon to, you know. Dude, what is up with Kathryn? Basically casts a Brit in every role in this movie except like a handful, or like an Aussie. You know what I mean? Like I should say a non-Yankee. She just loves getting them to do Yankee accents. Get as many of them as possible.
Just Kyle and Gandolfini are the only fucking.
And Jessica, but yeah, like.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, she is Yankee. Yeah.
But like, yeah, no, honestly, outside of that, it's like basically every other like semi-minor, or even fucking Joel, fucking, I guess Chris Pratt too.
Oh yeah, maybe you're wrong. Yeah. Maybe there is a lot of Americans.
No, honestly, I still think there's more non than.
I think Jennifer is American, isn't she?
Oh yeah, okay, maybe it's and Jeremy Strong. Okay, maybe it's 50-50. Maybe it's 50-50. I don't know. But it's the same in a House of Dynamite as well. It's the same shit. Like she just casts a heap of British. I think that might even outweigh it. There's just heaps of British people.
In Detroit, House. John Boyega's the lead. So I mean, like,
yeah.
And who's Gilly from Game of Thrones? She's like one of the other main characters.
Oh really? There you go.
Yeah. Not Superman, like not to the level that John is, but like
yeah, but British. There you go. Yeah. Kathryn, what's that about? You know, what's that about? I feel like there genuinely is a philosophy there. Like, what is it? Does she like? In her mind, is it like I like having a foreigner sort of come in and like be a perspective on a US character as opposed to just casting a US character? Like,
yeah, could be.
Maybe it's something like that.
Yeah, you're probably not going to get any kind of shred of like kind of give from a Yank in the way that Jason Clarke would be able to give if needed for the character.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Maybe that's why she was fine. Kyle Chandler's another one. Maybe that's why she was fine with Kyle Chandler just being American, because he's just kind of. He just really need to challenge him much.
Like he is, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, anyways, I guess we can just fully dive into the raid properly. First of all, this kind of like modern, we've talked about this a bunch on the show before, but like this kind of like modern military ops sequence just gets me going if it's done well. You know what I mean? It's like it's funny now. I remember saying in the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1, that was like my favorite part of the movie, when they're going in stealth chopper to get snow or whatever. And I'm like, this is just that, but like way better and actually like happened. So like, of course I'm gonna like this, and way longer.
Was it? I can't remember if you used it, but like was it in Warfare that you said it's just kind of like competence porn? Like everyone does their job exactly as they are, and like it all works out.
I definitely have never said competence porn, but I love that.
Okay,
that's a good term.
Yeah.
Competence porn. That's great. Yeah, that's what it is. Except like for the most part, I guess, because that is one thing I thought too, is that like if this I was thinking about it like if this was like a video game mission, this is like you're playing fucking Modern Warfare or whatever, and then you go for the platinum, and you got to like beat the game taking no damage. Never been spotted, all this sort of shit. Complete every side objective, like getting all the information out of the safes or out of the filing cabinets or whatever. That's like a side optional objective. It's like with all that in mind, they scored pretty well.
Apart from the downed helicopter.
Downed helicopter, and I don't think they got everything right.
I don't think
they ran out of time.
Yeah, they left one or two things.
Yeah, I give them like an 80%, like an A. Maybe not an S. Maybe like a Kojima S tier, maybe, but like an A. It's pretty solid. Pretty solid run. Those stealth choppers, man. I mean, so the trivia with those, let me get those up. The appearance of the actual stealth helicopters used on the Bin Laden raid is still highly classified. The production designers extrapolated their design based on a single photograph of the tail section of the destroyed copter that was left behind in Pakistan, as well as images of other stealth aircraft. They then created full-size practical mock-ups, as well as CGI models. Several consultants who had seen the real helicopters commented that the mock-ups were pretty close. I just think that's crazy that they had to make it up, they had to design it from scratch because it's a classified design of a vehicle.
Yeah. Do you reckon they deliberately tried to make it like not too close so it wouldn't be denied?
Maybe.
Well, that's like I think they said that like Bigelow and someone else. I think maybe the screenwriter Bowl was they were investigated by one of the agencies for like to see if someone had leaked information to them. So like maybe that's like maybe you're right about the designers.
Oh my god, my mind can't really wrap my head around as I was watching the sequence. Like maybe this is a minor critique of the sound design, but like I couldn't wrap my head around how no one could hear these things.
That's what I was. That's what I was thinking entire time. I was like, how can a helicopter possibly be stealth?
Yeah, 100%. And like, because like obviously this should happen. So like obviously, I mean, I wanted to understand more of to what extent they could be heard because like it's not like they're fucking dead quiet.
Yeah.
But like it obviously was effective enough for it to do what they needed to do. So like. I don't know, I just felt like in the movie they just kind of sounded like normal helicopters.
I think the more important part was the being able to avoid radar detection by the Pakistani military.
Sure.
I think once they got there, like it was kind of game over. But I think getting into Pakistan, like flying low and like reducing noise, I think that was the more important part and like visual.
I guess. I feel like I disagree. I feel like the movie made it pretty clear when they were moving through the mountains that like these are silent helicopters. These are like quiet.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking more of like when they're actually landing and stuff. Like they're whirling there.
I don't think that can be quiet. Like if you're hovering above a house.
And it's kind of portrayed like how there's the dudes that come up, like the neighbors come up on the roof or whatever.
Yeah,
like it was kind of portrayed like they didn't hear the choppers at all, and they only came up later when the chopper exploded, or like when more started happening.
When they heard the crash, I think is when the lights turned on.
Right, so it's like it's implied that they couldn't hear a chopper landing at all, and I'm like, I don't know. In the movie, it sort of felt like they just sort of sounded like normal helicopters landing to me, but maybe without like the exasperated like real like whirring sound, or when it's like. When they're powering down that you sometimes get in a movie or something. But like, I don't know, they sounded like they were fucking spinning, that's for sure.
I thought the other thing was like, is like the assumption, like, is there meant to be an assumption on behalf of the audience that like helicopter flight is just common? So like it's not really like in that area. So like it's nothing to bat your eye at that you can hear it.
Oh really?
I'm not saying that it is. I'm saying is that maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of doubt that. It's like 12:30 at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also the border between Afghanistan and Pakistan. I mean, like it's kind of tense.
Oh, maybe.
And, like it's.
Yeah, like maybe they do just see choppers going over at night. I don't know, but like landing right there is also. I don't know.
Well,
I just had questions about that.
So in the thing, she said that they're fitted with muffle dampeners. What was it? Sound dampeners to muffle the blades. Which once again, I don't understand how you fit fucking dampeners on a helicopter to like muffle the blades. That's weird. But then, like, I read the other thing was that like it had like extra blades, so that the so that like the effort was like less intense for the other blades, so like that quietened the noise somehow.
Okay.
But I other than that, I just don't understand it. Yeah.
No. Yeah. I wish I understood it more. And yeah, so and then obviously, like, you know, the one chopper crashes,
Mm.
and then like they had I don't think they really explained this, but like they had backup choppers ready, which is how the other one then came in to pick them up.
They were just regular like Black Hawks though. They weren't. They weren't.
Oh, they weren't stealths?
No, they were just like
Okay.
to get them out like in an emergency.
Okay. Yeah. And but they had those guys on standby.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good that they did. The climactic sequence devoted to the raid on Osama's compound runs about 25 minutes, only a few minutes less than the real life assault. You got an almost real time thing here going on. Another thing I'll say about I don't know, you can kind of pick the scene apart in a lot of positive ways. One of them I feel like this is where Greg Fraser really, his cinematography on this film really shines, I think. Because like, you know, the rest of it's well shot or whatever, but it's like, you know, this feels like this is the cinematographer's time to shine in a scene like this. And I can compliment it in a bunch of ways, but I guess the simplest way I'll compliment it is that I could see it. It wasn't too dark. Which I feel like it could have been too dark, but it wasn't. So I appreciated that. I don't know, man. There was a lot of different. Like, I just thought the whole thing was well choreographed and coordinated in terms of like understanding what was going on, different levels to it, like not being able to breach the doors and the walls. And I mean, for an op that, you know, is obviously highly important and highly dangerous, so I'm not taking away from that. It also is kind of relatively simple. They're just sort of landing in. There's like 5 people that live in this house or whatever, 5 adults or something, you know, and they're just kind of going in and taking them out. Like, okay. And considering that there's a fair bit of tension and excitement to it in terms of like, you know, they get to that part, for example, where like like where Osama actually is, it's like extra fortified with the extra gate or whatever. You know, you got to deal with that, and they got to deal with the kids. Fucking accidentally killed one of the women.
She went for the gun.
Yeah,
which is what they would have told their reporters that she went for the gun.
Well, what was funny was because obviously, yeah, this is all down to accounts and stuff, right? Isn't it? That, like, I read that one of the accounts was that from the dudes there was that they didn't kill any women. Is that
interesting?
So that's look, who knows, right? That's an interesting thing of like, did they add killing the woman to make it, you know, make it feel more dangerous, make it feel a bit more edgy or whatever, like, or is this dude fucking lying and they killed a bunch of women, you know? I don't know.
With the CIA, you have to assume the latter.
Probably. That's why, you know, he I don't know, he was there. I don't know. I'm not calling anyone a liar. One little detail. I don't know. This was just maybe. I don't know if you guys found this funny, but it sort of
they
found
call
me.
out the names.
Yes. Did you find it funny too?
I love it. I love every time they're like Ibrahim. Well, like especially when they get to the final level, it's like Sama.
That was
yeah. I'm glad you agree. Because it was like, I assume that's based on some real detail, and just the idea of them really like being in there. It was like they were calling out to like a little like a pet or something. They were like,
I think the implication is that they're meant to think that it's like Osama's meant to think that it's his mate, and he's calling out to him to like try and like you know.
Would he really fall for that? Like, not that it matters. They're already there.
I mean, he opened
like,
the door, so
I guess.
Yeah.
Like this guy I've never met. Let me just do some vague like Middle Eastern accent to like convince him that it's his best mate.
Yeah.
Osama. Come out, Osama.
That's pretty much what it was.
It's exactly what it was. Come out. Yeah, it was pretty funny. Any thoughts on the choice in the way in which they show Osama bin Laden in the film, or lack thereof. That whole, they keep it pretty disguised.
I think it's good. I think you need to go to like all lengths you can to not mythologize him. It's the reason he was giving a better let it see. So I think like creating any image that like replicates him too accurately and that actually shows it is like kind of dangerous territory. So I think it was like necessary to like not show his face.
Yeah, I think that's true, because it's obviously they keep it very much where like he's obviously very important to the movie, but like almost he's more of an idea in the movie as opposed to like they don't really give him any personal time. Well, none really. Is he in the movie at all except like those
No.
obscured shots at the end?
No.
Yeah, they don't like. Yeah, there's no news footage. There's no photo. There's no. I don't think so. It's kind of shocking.
There's the photo on the
be
board, like
right.
Like,
I was going
top
to say,
20.
yeah,
but like they never cut to like one of his fatwas, or like there's never like any kind of speech from him.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Okay, so the photo on the board is literally it. Yeah, I figure another filmmaker would like. It'd be a pretty easy choice to make to like insert some archival footage of him or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's good they didn't. I agree. That CIA director in Langley being being a converted to Islam and praying and all that was an interesting detail. Islam, sorry. It was an interesting touch.
Yeah, I think he's a real character though.
He's a real dude,
obviously
yeah.
with most of the film, but like I think
Yeah.
like it's not like a random detail. Like it's I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean,
it is
it's
interesting.
Obviously a choice to include it. It's interesting.
Yeah.
But mainly, I guess the thing that I'm saying makes it interesting is just the fact that guy exists, and I want to like, I want to read something about him. You know what I mean? Like that sounds kind of wild.
Like mature age conversions to Islam, like it's just, I mean, to any religion, I mean, like kind of befuddles me, but like specifically to that, given like how dedicated the practice is, I'm like, geez, like that's, I don't know, like you have to have gone through some real shit to like kind of find God in this way, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely. I cannot comprehend it. Like you say, convene any religion, let alone one that devoted. Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, it happens. I mean, I think there's a report. I can't remember if it was 60 Minutes or one of the other kind of shitty ones, but like that they did a few years ago about like I don't know, about like mature age people in Australia converting. I don't know, it was interesting. Mostly they're like, yeah, no, it's cool.
Yeah. I don't know, why else do you convert? It's cool. Yeah. Whatever. I'm pretty done, to be honest.
One of my outside of like the last scene, my biggest gripe with the film is when they go, he attacked us because he hates our freedom. And like it's just such a boring line and just such a common myth that no one understands is a myth, especially in the world of America. He didn't attack you because he hates. I mean, like partly, like he has explicitly stated in one of his fatwas that he doesn't like that in America. But I mean, it's all cause and effect. It's in response to America's ongoing interference and presence in the Middle East, and like 9/11 was like a response to I think their presence in the Gulf at the time. Because I think he was in Saudi Arabia at that time, like when they invaded, or maybe he was already in Afghanistan. I can't remember. But like it's all cause and effect. I mean, like they very much created Al Qaeda. The Yanks did. So like when the film went full, he hates our freedom. Like that's eye rolling.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And it didn't really feel like it was from a perspective of this is this character saying that.
Yeah.
From their point of view. But it sort of, as opposed to being the granular, it sort of did feel a bit more granular. I'm not necessarily saying that Bigelow doesn't understand all the rest of it, but
oh no, like in doing research to make the film, like you understand that there's like you have to understand his perspective.
Yeah.
But then you
Yeah.
just choose not to include it because then like it makes him too sympathetic.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So I guess I understand that part of it, but
Mm.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
but
a fair
you can
point.
choose to not include it and then also not have to spurt the bullshit. He hates freedom. I mean, which to be
Yeah.
fair,
Yeah.
he did. But at the same time, it's not the only reason he did.
Yeah. No, definitely. Joel Edgerton was originally cast in a leading role but dropped out due to scheduling conflicts. When the conflicts were resolved, he was able to return in another role. So when I read that, I presume he was meant to be Jason Clarke's character.
Yeah, that's what I would assume too.
Hmm.
And then, then she just got like the closest equivalent you could in age and Australian.
Yeah, I mean, at least it wasn't Sam Worthington or Jai Courtney. So
Sure, yeah.
especially
That's
like
fine.
in 2011, like Sam Worthington was like the Australian property. So like,
Yes,
it's impressive that he didn't end up in it actually.
true. Yeah, he could have been. He could have been Chris Pratt's character or something. Probably would have been better. Less distracting, anyway. All right.
Yeah, good.
Excellent. Let's get to final verdicts for Zero Dark 30. Fitzy.
It's still very strong, but I'll give it a 7. I'll slap a 7 on it. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about. It's kind of like a bottomless pit, like the ethical stuff in the film, and it's very like conflicting, especially the fact that they rewrote the script. I mean, it's like the movie could have kind of come off as like the opposite intended meaning of what it does in this version, but still very strong. I'll hopefully I won't have to rewatch it again, but yeah, 7.
Damn, I thought coming from your intro, I thought we had a stronger mind change than that, but apparently not. Just a little bit, a slight improvement.
Strong 7.
Strong 7. Okay. I'll slap an 8 on this. We had some valid criticisms, but I was thoroughly engaged for sure. Jaden.
Yeah, I'm at an 8 too. I think Bigelow makes great movies that I'll always enjoy watching, despite their conundrums.
Sure. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Is this her only female-led movie, by the way? Like,
A House of Dynamite's female-led. Isn't Rebecca Ferguson the main character?
It's an ensemble.
Is it?
Yeah.
I
would not call Rebecca the main character. Yeah.
I think a lot of her early stuff is.
Okay.
I think I can't remember the name of them, but before like the things before Point Break, I think, were like she had a few female leads.
Dude, I'm not seeing. Oh, Blue Steel. What's this? This might be one. I'm like looking at it here. Oh, Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she got one. Yeah. There you go. It looks like it's the only one though. I glance here. The Loveless is a dude. Near Dark is a dude.
Loveless is Willem Dafoe, not just a dude.
Oh, I wasn't going in to see exactly who it was, but I can. This one is this dude named Adrian Pazda or whatever. I don't know who that is. All right. We got no news chat. Right? Yeah, no, we don't. I forgot if we just... No, we don't. All right, let's get to our highlights of the week. Jaden, what have you been watching?
I watched Wicker last night. It was the only other film I watched this week. It was quite good. I enjoyed it a lot more than I was expecting. I was expecting to really not vibe with it. I didn't want to see it. I only watched it because I thought we were doing it for the show. And like in the first 20 minutes, I was very much plagued by that mindset. But also like the first 20 minutes wasn't that strong when it was just like kind of, I don't know, like the first 20 minutes wasn't the best. But then like as it continued, I really fell for it. It's shot like awesomely. Like it looks gorgeous the entire time. The effects for Skarsgård are just beyond me. I expressed it to Zach last night when we were leaving the theater. I just don't get how you do that on that budget. Like one, like the makeup looks great, and like the physical suit or whatever it is they put him in looks fantastic. But then there's also multiple instances where you can see through him and the sun shines through him, and I'm like, and like there's close-ups of like as the sun's shining through and like the fingers are moving, and like I just don't get how you do that on, and it looks fantastic. Like I don't get how you do that on that budget, because like as like there's got to be some kind of puppetry going on. I have to assume it's puppetry, because like I don't understand how you do it on a small budget.
I think some of the hand shots would definitely have to be puppetry. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so like, it looks incredible, and like the craft is great. And the story, like it's quite quaint. Like it doesn't like it kind of feels like in the beginning that you're in for quite something that's quite loaded. And like to be like commentary about like marriage and like the role of women in society. Today by using yesteryear as a mirror. But then it kind of never really goes too hard on it, and it's just kind of like in the end it's like a happy wife, happy life kind of thing, but just from the female perspective. But yeah, it's quite good. I liked it.
Nice, very good. I don't have a highlight. Fitzy?
No, neither.
You don't have one either? Oh man,
No.
You watch Wicker, Zach?
Yeah, it's not a highlight. Oh man. Dude, wow, this is the most depressing end of a podcast ever, because now we got our question of the show that did everyone? Why did everyone stop answering question of the week the second Jaden started posting it? Like it makes any fucking difference?
What do you mean? Looking at you answered it before I put the question in.
Oh, they did. Sorry.
Yeah.
I feel so bad. So I saw you put it in, then saw nothing below it. But no, you're right.
Yeah.
They were actually. Wow, I feel so bad now, because they were actually such good audience. I just shat on them, but they're actually such good audience members. They beat you.
Don't worry, I'll cut it out. It's fine.
Thank you. Yeah, make me seem much nicer. All right. Now we hand the show over to you with our question of the week. Last week we asked you, what is your favourite Kyle Chandler appearance? Dr. Luke said, I liked Kyle Chandler in Game Night. Goated movie, by the way. Yeah, nice. Andy Lau said, Kyle Chandler in Game Night starring Rachel McAdams, or in First Man starring Ryan Gosling. Did you guys stash this question in the notebook because we can't find it on Discord? Yeah, we know. Jaden's looking after you.
I think it was like 3 days late to both the question and the announcement.
That's okay. Better late than never.
Yeah.
All right. Kyle Chandler appearance. Fitzy, this question's like, I feel like it's made for you. So do you want to kick us off?
I'll go with the Spectacular Now, which I'm pretty sure he has one scene in, but I think he plays like an I'm pretty sure it's Miles Teller's estranged dad, and like he just meets him in like a bar, and he's kind of this like alcoholic, like shambled character.
Okay.
But it's probably like one of the most memorable scenes in the whole film. It's just Kyle Chandler doing Kyle Chandler stuff. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, usually he plays more kind of, straight kind of character. So that's why that appearance is also a bit unique and it's special. Yeah.
It's a good answer. Dude, I was looking at his filmography and like I knew the question of the week was good, but I underestimated how much you were right, Jen, where he really does just appear in things. Like it's kind of his whole thing. Like obviously, Friday Night Lights is one thing, but like, dude, his whole thing is just like one or two scenes in movies, one episode of a TV show, like just all over the place. He's in one episode of Mayor of Kingstown. It's like, what? Why is he in one episode of that show? Like, you know what I mean? He's Kyle Chandler. Like, shouldn't he easily be on a level like to where he should be a main character in that show?
But that's what I'm saying. Like he just does these roles where it's like kind of he just rocks up. So I'm like,
yeah.
It's like 100%. He's never like he doesn't want to commit to the full show. I'm like, I mean, he's committed to Lanterns now apparently. So I guess.
Yeah, I am interested in Lanterns because I feel like I want to see him dig into a role, and actually be able to fucking spend some time on it. But yeah, no. So yes, it is very apt. And like Wolf of Wall Street, how much is he in that? I don't remember.
He rocks up on the yacht. I remember him doing that. Like he's one of the agents on the yacht.
Is that very much just an appearance?
I can't remember if he reappears.
He's in it a bit. Like he's the main agent that's trying to seek.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about in Argo?
I can't remember Argo. That's the one I was trying to think about.
I don't remember.
Where was he in Argo?
I really don't remember. He's this dude called Hamilton Jordan, whoever the hell that is. So yeah, anyway, shout out to Kyle Chandler for always appearing. I guess my answer would have to be Manchester by the Sea, man. Because can I spoil the first the whole start of the movie and what the movie's about? But no, I won't. But yeah. It still counts, right, Liam? It's an appearance. I'm saying it's not substantial enough to not count in this.
No. Yeah, that's exactly.
I think it's an appearance. Yeah. No, shout out to that. I didn't realize his character's name was Joe Chandler. So there you go. Wow.
Very creative.
Very creative. Yeah. Does that mean Casey Affleck's character is also named Chandler after they named the whole family after Kyle Chandler? Yeah, Casey Affleck plays Lee Chandler. There you go. All right, Jaden, favorite Kyle Chandler appearance?
My one's already been mentioned, but it's game night. I like that he just rocks up as the estranged brother, and then disappears for a bit, and then rocks up, and then, he's fantastic. Yeah. I also I do like him in Super 8 a lot, but I think he's probably a bit too present. Not that he's in it a lot, but he is the father, and there is a fair bit to do with him. But yeah, it's yeah, game night.
Is he the lead in Friday Night Lights, Fitzy?
He's probably co-lead with the other high school student, I'd say.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I was just looking. I was like, man, he needs to be put in the spotlight as a leading dude, and Lanterns seems like it's finally going to be it.
But I feel like he's found the sweet spot where he can make a lot of money and be well known, but not be badgered by
right, and not have all the pressure. He probably loves it.
He's he's found a Patrick Wilson without doing the Patrick Wilson route, because Patrick Wilson takes the main roles, but still doesn't get really known. Whereas Kyle Chandler's
he was definitely the lead in Bloodline though. Right. That was pretty big.
Oh really? Okay.
Well, how? Because Andy mentioned First Man. How significant? I can't remember his character in First Man.
Isn't he just one of the astronauts that dies, or is that Jason Clarke?
Oh, he's in that too.
Yeah.
Well, he's fourth build on IMDb, so I can't really remember.
I can't remember if he one of them definitely dies, or do both of them die? I can't remember. Very cool. As always, we'd love you to submit your responses, thoughts, and or reviews for next week's film in the YouTube or Instagram comment section, or join the Discord server this week. The specific question we're asking you is, what is the best Edward Norton performance? Let us know. Fitzy, why are we asking this question?
Doing Primal Fear. On the poll. Allegedly. On ABC iView.
Kyle Chandler's 61? Oh my god. Liam, I'm so sorry. I just had an autistic moment because you were in the middle of talking.
I was pretty much done
for Primal Fear, and I just literally saw his age, and I literally just blurted it out with no restraints. So I still had it open. I'm like, oh.
But why is that surprising though that he's 61? That's pretty. Do you think that's really? Old or?
Yeah, I would have said he was late 40s.
Oh. No.
Because I would have guessed, I don't know, in that movie we just watched.
Yeah, I think this was 10 years ago now.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I guess I would have thought he was probably 38-ish in that movie we just watched. Which he definitely wasn't. That means he was what? He was 10 years older than that. Yeah. Man, it's power of makeup, I guess. There you go. All right. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. I appreciate Liam and Jaden for joining me. As always, have a great rest of your week, and goodbye.